India is the third largest automobile market in the world, surpassing Japan by selling more than 4 million vehicles in 2023. And as the vehicle industry grows, so does the tyre market, with tyre production rising by 27% in the same year. This growth naturally brings up the crucial question: where do all these tyres eventually land up? A National Green Tribunal report recently revealed how close to 275,000 tyres are discarded in India every single day. The average life of a tyre is 5 years or 50,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. And once it's at its end of life, it is dumped as waste or passed on to scrap dealers. Ismail Samnani has been in the business of aggregating waste tyres from the domestic market for more than 4 decades. He runs his unit just outside Mumbai city.
We are into truck tyres, so the transport companies are the first choice. The second one is the tyre fitters, which are known as puncharwalas. So we go and source tyres from them.
Over the last 5 years, Ismail has seen the supply of waste tyres nearly double. His main customers are reclaimer companies that recycle tyre rubber into products.
I am able to collect and supply to the companies approximately 300 to 400 tons of material, which include radial tyres as well as nylon tyres. But it is easier to recycle a nylon tyre than a radial tyre. So we are able to cut nylon tyres. We have got people who are skilled and they cut tyres with their hands. But as far as radial is concerned, we need machineries to cut those tyres.
According to the Tyre and Rubber Recyclers Association of India, over 3 million waste tyres were scrapped in the domestic market in 2023. However, experts say that this number could be much higher, as most end-of-life tyres don't even make it to the scrap market and are dumped in landfills. Another rampant use is pyrolysis, where rubber is liquefied to make a cheap industrial oil, considered disastrous for the environment. The Pollution Board recently discovered how 54% of pyrolysis plants in India were flouting environmental guidelines.
In order to have safe disposal strategies come up from the government or from the industry side, it is important that we don't dump it in landfills, because that could pose problems such as the infestation of the pests onto the tyres, or even if you incinerate, the incineration of tyres can actually be very detrimental to the environment. Because burning of tyres can pollute the environment, and if you put it in landfill, that will also damage the ecosystem.
We are at a manufacturing plant of Tinna Rubber and Infrastructure Limited in Vada, 75 kilometers from Mumbai city. The company is one of the leading end-of-life tyre material recyclers in India, and this is one of their primary units where they upcycle tyres into a product that can be used for road construction.
जो भी मटेरियल आता है हम यहाँ टायर यार्ड में एक्युमुलेट करते हैं, उसके बाद मशीन के थ्रू प्रोसेस किया जाता है. जो फर्स्ट मशीन है उसको बोलते हैं टायर शेडर. टायर शेडर से टायर को रिड्यूस करके 50 × 50 mm के साइज़ में कन्वर्ट किया जाता है. वो रिड्यूस करने के बाद सेकंड जो मशीन है उसको बोलते हैं रेस्पर. रेस्पर में जाएगा. रेस्पर में जाने से क्या है, उसको फर्दर रिड्यूस करते हैं 25 mm साइज़ में, 25 mm ग्रेनुअल साइज़ में, जिसको टायर चिप्स भी बोलते हैं. तो वहाँ पे एक टायर चिप्स प्रोड्यूस होता है, दूसरा वहाँ पे स्टील सेपरेशन भी होती है. तो ये सेकंड प्रोसेस है टायर प्रोसेसिंग का. इसके बाद जो 24 mm के चिप्स हैं उनको फर्दर थर्ड स्टेज में ले जाके ग्रेनुलेटर में फीड किया जाता है, जिससे 10 mm तक के साइज़ तक का ग्रेनुअल्स हम पैक करते हैं. दिस इज़ ऑल प्रोसेस. उसको बोलते हैं CRMB, क्रम रबड़ मॉडिफाइड बिटुमेन. तो जो CRM बनाया जाता है, CRM में एक प्रॉपर सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है उसकी रेसिपी. उसमें हम कितना NA ऐड कर रहे हैं और कितना क्रम रबड़ ऐड कर रहे हैं वो हम यहाँ जो मिक्सिंग बैच बनाते हैं तो उसमें डिसाइड करते हैं, वो बनाते हैं।
The blending takes place between the crumb rubber and bitumen in a 20-80 ratio to develop what is called CRMB, or crumb rubber modified bitumen. These two are then mechanically mixed with crushed stones and used as raw material to build roads and pavements. The quality of CRMB depends on the quantity and size of crumb rubber used in the mix. In the last 10 years, the company has upcycled nearly 6 million tyres for road projects to produce approximately 745,000 metric tons of CRMB.
If you make the road out of the waste tire rubber powder, it doesn't oxidize. Rubber is a bad conductor of heat, right? That is the one reason. Second, because of the carbon powder in the rubber, which is, when you make a tire, you use carbon also. So that carbon is also going back into the roads. So that helps in preventing the oxidation process. So the road built using the CRMB remains black for a longer period of time. Otherwise, with the plain bitumen and all, it turns whitish. It gets oxidized within a year or two. So government policies and in fact the road engineering policy says the surface road should have a better product which should handle the good, which should survive in fact, at the higher temperature, which should survive with the water also, which can carry the higher traffic loads. So adding the crumb rubber to the bitumen overcome with its inherent weaknesses.
Here on the Delhi-Jaipur highway, a 67-kilometer stretch is being built using Tinna's CRMB.
ये बॉन्डिंग अच्छी तरह से हो जा रहा है, एकदम स्मूथ सरफेस हो जा रही है। तो इसमें अगर पीटीआर चलेगा, ये वॉइड से ना और कम हो जाएंगे और एकदम इसकी स्ट्रेंथ है बढ़िया हो जाएगी और सरफेस भी एकदम स्मूथ हो जाएगी।
As the contractor on the project, Vanraj tells us why he finds the modified bitumen significantly better than regular bitumen.
इसका बेनिफिट भी अच्छा है। आप देखो जो जैसे आप नॉर्मल कर रहे हैं और उसमें काफ़ी राइडिंग क्वालिटी आपको दिखेगी, एकदम स्मूथ है सरफेस। इसमें एक और है, जितना ट्रैफिक इस पे चलेगा उतना ये स्मूथ होता जाएगा और जो फ्रिक्शन है वो टायर का कम होगा।
The CRMB technology, though, is energy intensive because creating modified rubber bitumen requires a lot of heat. But environmentalists say the technology is cleaner and more climate friendly compared to most other prevalent rubber recycling industries.
We can reduce anywhere between 3 and 20 times carbon footprint because of asphalt rubber. There are two reasons to this, major. One, you're using waste product and creating wells. Two, you're reducing the thickness by half or even quarter. I mentioned this to you. 100 millimeter becomes only 25 millimeter. So you're reducing the amount of resources, reducing the aggregate consumption, using rubber, which is self-healing. It has all kinds of properties. It's resilient, and it is still scrap tire. The science behind this is the rubber, the scrap tire rubber, has a specific gravity of anywhere between 1.1 and 1.3. That is very close to asphalt cement, which has anywhere between 1.01 and 1.02. So they marry each other very well.
Despite the environmental advantages, however, CRMB is still not widely used by infrastructure companies in India. Dr. Prapurna tells us this is because the industry is not fully aware of the possibilities of recycled rubber.
There is no mandate in the standard guidelines or the specifications that you should start using recyclable products.
In July 2022, the Indian government made it mandatory for all tyre manufacturers and importers to recycle end-of-life tyres as part of extended producer responsibility. But its implementation is still questionable.
Till the time it gets generalized, till the time EPR policy comes fully in place, we have challenges in the sourcing because there are two type of recycling is happening in the country. One is the material recycling, what we do, wherein we recover material and do value addition and it goes for a green application. The other is the gasification of tire, where the tire is being burnt and people are making char out of it and taking oil out of it, which is going for the energy purposes. So that is not in support to the environment, but the government is keen to promote that also as well, because that much of waste has to be used.
In recent years, India has also become the dumping ground for waste tires for the rest of the world. Between April and November 2023, close to 9 million tons of waste tires were imported to India from countries like the US, Europe, Western Asia and the UK. This led to a recent order restricting the import of scrap tires to reduce the waste burden. But experts feel the solution lies with the government to support and subsidize green technologies like CRMB.
Government has to take a stand. And if you look at some of the countries in the West, what they have done is to also subsidize the process of shredding. But we have also used rubber in preparing benches in parks. So if you want to prepare dikes for ports, that could be used. If you want to use it for some other purpose, I think there is umpteen number of uses of rubber in civil infrastructure, or it could be even in the roads and transport sector.
Nearly 15,000 waste tires can be used to create CRMB for a 1 kilometer road stretch. With a network of nearly 650,000 kilometers of roads in India, the potential to upcycle waste tires into road infrastructure is immense.
Thanks for watching Eco India. If you like the story, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Scroll.in on YouTube.